Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Urvashi and today in this video I'm going to be talking about the nakshatra of Chitra in the zodiac sign of Virgo as well as Libra. So this nakshatra falls between 23 degrees 40 minutes of Virgo and it continues to 6 degrees 40 minutes of Libra. What are nakshatras? Nakshatras are also called lunar mansions. There are 27 nakshatras in the zodiac. So we are all familiar with the 12 signs of the zodiac. So the signs are further divided into these smaller parts which are nakshatras, and every nakshatra has a specific energy. So that is why we will see people born in the same sign, in the same zodiac, and yet be very different from each other. It is because of these subtle energies. So these nakshatras or these lunar mansions have separate planets as rulers, they have separate deities, and they have separate energies completely. So we have 27 lunar mansions. This is the 14th one. I have covered the first 13, and for instance, the one prior to this was Hasta. Hasta was ruled by moon. In the zodiac sign of Virgo, we had a lunar mansion that was ruled by the moon. Now I'm talking about Chitra, which is ruled by Mars. So in the sign of Virgo, this is the third nakshatra I'm talking about, and each nakshatra has a specific quality, a specific nature. So the planets posited here will take that quality, and then depending on the house they rule, if this planet is connected to the 10th house, the second house, so it could be how you make your wealth or what career you follow. If this is connected to the ascendant or the moon, this will be strongly influencing your personality, or the Atma Karak planet posited in this nakshatra will strongly influence your personality. So that is how you have to see the nakshatras. So this is ruled by Mars. Chitra is ruled by Mars, and the deity that rules this nakshatra is Twastar. Twastar is also called Vishwakarma. So Vishwakarma is the divine architect. Vishwakarma, the very word Vishwa means the world, and Karma is action. So the doer of all action, the doer of everything. Vishwakarma or Twastar is the creator, is also equated with Brahma. So this deity has the power to create, has the power to beautify, has the power to cause an illusion, to cause Maya, to cause something to be there which is not, almost like creating magic. And so this nakshatra is also called the mighty one, or the star of opportunity. This nakshatra is a very, very fertile nakshatra for growth, for success in everything, because Vishwakarma or Twastar, right from the city of Dwarka of Lord Krishna to the Sudarshan Chakra of Lord Krishna, to the Trishul of Lord Shiva, to the city of Indraprasth of the Pandavas, it was Twastar that was the architect, or that was the creator. He is the divine architect. He created all this. According to mythology, he took a bit of the sun and created Sudarshan Chakra of Lord Krishna. He created the Pushpakama Vimana, the vehicle of Lord Kubera. So he creates everything that is required for success, for material success. He is also said to have a twin brother who opposes Lord Indra, or who is a negative energy. So there is a lot of, you have both these energies in this nakshatra, a lot of potential for growth, a lot of positive energy, a lot of capability to create, to design, and some negativity as well. We'll talk about both the sides. So there's another mythological story connected to this nakshatra, where there was a demoness, and in order to defeat the demoness, Lord Vishnu, in the form of a woman, And here Lord Shiv and Lord Vishnu in the form of this woman, they had a child who is also called the Harihara Sudan. Hari, Lord Vishnu; Hara, Lord Shiva. So he is the son of Hari and Hara. So this child was found in the forest by a king and a queen, and later on when the queen was pregnant, she did not want this child to be the heir to the throne. So she sent this child to the jungle to get the cure of some disease that she pretended she had, and she said this cure will be found in the milk of a tigress. I think that's how the story goes. So she sent this child to the forest, and she thought that this child is probably going to die in the forest. And after a few days, this child comes back riding a tigress and all the cubs following it. So then this queen and king realized that this child is no ordinary child. So this child is the son of Hari and Hara, and this child was able to defeat the negativity that that was planned for this child, overcome that negativity. So similarly, the people ruled by this nakshatra are supposed to have the power of both Hari and Hara, of Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva, and be able to overcome all the negativity that is inside of them and evolve spiritually. So this nakshatra has the power both to evolve spiritually and to grow materialistically. You will see a lot of people who have done really well in life are ruled by this nakshatra. There is a lot of creativity in this nakshatra. Both the signs, both the planets, Mercury is the planet for communication, for speech, for drawing, for art, any skill of the hands. It signifies the natural third house, painting, sculpting, even acting is with Mercury. And Venus is glamour, beauty, charm, attraction. So both these planets, which are very, very Rajasic planets, have these two houses, here, Virgo and Libra. So these are, both these houses are very fertile houses. Both these houses are houses of the market, of food, of growth. The sign of Virgo is about the harvest. And here, in this very, very service-oriented sign, the sign of growth, of reaping the harvest, you have a nakshatra ruled by Mars, and Mars is the doer. Mars is the planet of action. Mars is a lot of energy, and you have this two very Rajas planets having both these signs, ruling both these signs of Virgo and Libra, and you have this nakshatra of Mars. So a lot of energy, lot of action, lot of restless energy you can see in this particular nakshatra for materialistic success. But this energy can also be used in this nakshatra for spiritual evolution, and it is seen that these people ruled by this nakshatra will be drawn towards spirituality, and they would like to delve deep into the realms of spirituality. The symbols of this nakshatra are either a pearl or bright jewels. Now Jewels are not something that are found in common, these are rare things. Any real gem, any gem, natural gem that you take, it takes thousands of years to form that gem naturally in nature. It has to go through a lot of transformations for that gem to be formed. Similarly, if you read about a pearl, how is a pearl formed? So an oyster, sometimes when there is an irritant in the oyster, any kind of an irritant enters the oyster, so the oyster in defense secretes a solution, and the solution kind of coats that irritant, and in defense the oyster does it to protect itself. And over a period of years there are layers of this secretion over that irritant, and those layers later on go on to form a pearl. So this shows certain efforts to protect ourselves from some negativity, and in order to protect ourselves we utilize our energy in a certain way, and over a period of years when we are protecting ourselves, defending ourselves, making a lot of effort to evolve in a positive manner and protect ourselves from that negativity that is entering that little oyster. So over a period of years, all that transformation leads to that pearl. That is what this nakshatra is about, formation of that pearl, defending yourself from the negativity. It can be seen from a spiritual angle, defending yourself from the negativity in this world, from the negative environment, negative people, negative habits, understanding our own negative habits and defending ourselves, and then gradually you evolve into a pearl. And this can be seen in a very materialistic way, defending ourselves from the hardships around us, using energy, creating, going on using energy. That secretion is the creation, the process of creation, and over a period of time you can form that pearl for yourself. So this is the symbol of this nakshatra. So whatever piece of jewel you take, any gem, any real gem, takes a lot of time to get formed, a lot of effort. There's a lot of transformation happening. That is the power of this nakshatra. People born in this nakshatra, highly intelligent, great politicians, very, very charming people, very attractive, beautiful eyes, very well formed bodies like a tigress, and sexually also they would be attractive to others, and they would also have a lot of sexual energy in themselves. There are lots of people, when I talk about this nakshatra, there are lots of celebrities you will come across who have this nakshatra as very prominent. I'll share a few names with you. One of my favorite singers, Sting, who was in the band The Police, he has his moon in this nakshatra, and his song Every Breath You Take is still one of my favorite songs. Then we have Dimple Kapadia. She's an Indian actress, very attractive. She came out of nowhere into the film industry. She, with her good looks, with her charming personality, and of course she also had her acting talent as well. But more than that, it was the charm she brought with herself, and the style and fashion in dressing, in clothes and hairstyles, the way she carried herself, which is a speciality of the Chitra Nakshatra. Chitra Nakshatra people, we just talked about creating an illusion, creating a maya, decorating something. So if we talk about the previous nakshatras, we talked about Magha, where there was a fight for the throne, and then in Purva Falguni the throne was achieved, and now the person was going to get up, the person was going towards some resting, some rejuvenation, and then the person gets up in Uttar Falguni to do some action and getting married, doing negotiations, entering a business deal. In Hasta, then there was some skills, some actions. So now the person gets down to doing something tangible, working with his hands. That was Hasta. Now in Chitra, it is about decorating whatever you have formed. It's all about making something very beautiful, making something very attractive. So Dimple Kapadia here did know how to carry herself. She was very, very attractive. No matter what she was, she knew how to carry herself. Even today, she looks great. She just knows how to carry herself. She has those typical Chitra eyes, beautiful eyes. And then there are lots of other actresses. We have lots of politicians as well. So Margaret Thatcher is one politician. So Margaret Thatcher has a son in Chitra, and the Iron Lady, as she was called. So there's people who have sun in Chitra have a strong Martian quality about themselves, and Margaret Thatcher is amongst the top names where we talk about women politicians. And then we have one of the most famous presidents of the world, John F. Kennedy. He had again his ascendant in Chitra. And if we talk about John F. Kennedy, he had a military career. He was a decorated officer. He was a politician. Everything that we can connect to Chitra. He knew how to connect to the crowd, He was his own stylist. the image he had for himself. He was very conscious of his image. He styled his image very nicely. That is why he's even today one of the most popular names in the world if we talk about presidents. He wrote a few books. He is probably the only president who ever got a Pulitzer. I think a book about why was England sleeping or something like that. That was one name that I picked up from the net. So he was also a womanizer. He had a very, very strong sexual urge. He wanted to experiment, and I've already told you that this is one negative in this nakshatra, being very, very sexually active or interested in exploring yourself sexually. So Kennedy had this strong urge, image conscious, knew how to carry himself, very, very charming. Chitra people also have this tendency of being too outspoken, and we know Kennedy was no diplomat. He would just speak his mind. So he again had all the Chitra qualities. Even the books he wrote, there was a creative aspect also as a part of his own personality. Then we have Adolf Hitler, again another Chitra ascendant person. I would say Adolf Hitler was the architect of evil, really, but he was an architect nevertheless, and he was a painter. If you look up Adolf Hitler's paintings on the net, you will be amazed. He was a painter. He wanted to be an architect. I mean, this nakshatra is all about creating architecture, beautifying, looking beautiful, wearing jewelry, wearing beautiful clothes, wearing a lot of makeup, bright colors, beautiful eyes, charming, all that majesty, arrogance, ego, good looks, attraction, picture perfect. These are some of the words that you can connect to this nakshatra. Extremely creative. The Rahu quality of creating an illusion can actually be seen in the nakshatra of Chitra, because the deity Twastar or Vishwakarma is connected to the ability of Maya, or causing an illusion, causing something to look like something which it is not, creating an impression, attracting others. So there were so many celebrities. When I was looking up for celebrities, there were so many celebrities that have prominent planets, the sun, the moon, the ascendant in Chitra. And this star is also called, this nakshatra is also called the star of opportunity, because they have the capability to create. I just told you, like, even the Sudarshan Chakra was created by Vishwakarma. Lanka, Ravan's Lanka, the golden Lanka, was created by Vishwakarma. They have the ability to create anything for materialistic gains, and they have the ability to create and to protect themselves from any negativity and create and evolve themselves spiritually. So about this thing I was reading somewhere, he was very fascinated to death and what death would be like, and he experimented. He quite a few times he took a certain drug which is in South India used for spiritual purposes to have that experience. They have that deep desire to connect with themselves on a spiritual level as well, and they have the power, they have the strength, they have the talent in their hands, they have the personality, they have the vibes, they have the attraction to attract anybody, to excel in creating anything, to utilize their hands to create something. So all types of creativity, be it stories, be it books like Kennedy wrote, be it art that Hitler was painting, be it creating evil like Hitler ultimately did. He created an evil empire for himself. So be it somebody like Dimple Kapadia, who just created an image, a new era of fashion and beauty. Started with Dimple Kapadia coming into Bobby, that movie, the way she just picked up from there, and she went on to marry the first superstar of India, Rajesh Khanna. So this nakshatra is the nakshatra of opportunity. These people are extremely talented people. They have the ability of both hara and hari. They are empowered to grow, to utilize their talent, this energy, to impress others. But there is an arrogance also. The animal connected to this nakshatra is the female tigress. So there is an arrogance, there is an ego, there is a outspokenness about them. There is a desire of having a lot of attention. They want a lot of attention. They want to be recognized. They want to impress others. If they use this materialistically, these people can grow. They know how to style themselves. They are born with these things, but they can be overindulgent sexually, and they can be little arrogant, very aggressive sometimes. So those are some of the negative qualities also in this nakshatra. These people have, they get inspired very easily. They can have very inspiring dreams, especially if the moon is in this nakshatra, and they can be very, very intuitive. But they can also be great spendthrifts, They can be spending a lot on brands and products and on just decorating themselves, and they can be vain about their looks. They can be vain about their fashion statement. So overindulgence is a negative in this nakshatra. Overindulgence, too much of ego, and sexual indulgence, those are the negatives in this nakshatra. They can be amazing planners, very logical arguments they can have, very great conversationalists they can be. So Mercury is for conversation, and Mars here is the spark. Mars is the energy. So very, very, and Mars is the planet for logic. So logic and communication are now together. So very logical argumentations they can have, and great conversationalists they can be, great politicians, great lawyers they can be. They can organize things very well. Virgo is the sign for organization, and Mars here is giving energy to that organization. And these people are about organizing, planning, going into detail, planning the details of something. So the part of this nakshatra that is in Virgo, it's all about organizing, planning, structuring things, creating something, inventing something. And the part of Chitra that is in Libra is about decorating and presentation, presenting that same thing in a very beautiful manner. The part in Virgo is more about going into detail and organizing, planning, and the part in Libra is more about show, beautification. Even though the entire nakshatra is about beautification, but the energy of show will be more in Libra, the energy of planning, going into detail, and doing things, creating things, organizing things, that will be more in Virgo. So arrogance is there, self-indulgence is there, ego can be strong, a person can be a big spendthrift here, too outspoken, because Mars is the energy and Mercury is the communication. So very direct in speech, sometimes can be hurtful as well, can be regretful later on, but they may not think before speaking. So all those negative qualities can be there, but at the same time, the level of creativity that we see in this nakshatra is not seen in any other. I will now be seeing you in the next video, where I will be talking about the 4 padas, the careers related to this nakshatra, the auspicious and the inauspicious activities. See you in the next video. Bye bye for now.